What if I told you that silence, an act so simple and often overlooked, could be one of the most powerful tools in your life? We live in a world where words are thrown around carelessly, where everyone feels the need to speak their mind, no matter how trivial. But what if the ancient Stoics were right when they taught that silence is often the best response? What if, instead of reacting to every situation, you chose to remain quiet, not out of fear or weakness, but out of wisdom and inner strength? In today's video, we're diving deep into 9 situations where silence is your best weapon. Situations where, if you can master the art of silence, you'll not only navigate life with more grace, but also come out stronger and more resilient. From unfair criticism to personal loss, each situation we'll discuss today highlights why Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca advocated for thoughtful silence. Ready to discover when holding your tongue can lead to true inner peace? Let's begin. 1. When being criticized unfairly. Imagine someone criticizes you unjustly, pointing fingers at you for things you didn't do. The natural reaction is to defend yourself, to set the record straight. But according to Stoic philosophy, this is often a waste of energy. Epictetus once said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When faced with unfair criticism, silence becomes a sign of strength, not defeat. Why? Because those who seek to bring you down with false accusations often crave your reaction. By responding in anger or frustration, you give them what they want. But when you remain silent, you communicate a different message, that their words hold no power over you. You understand that what others think of you is beyond your control. As a Stoic, you focus on what you can control: your response, your thoughts, your actions. In the long run, truth will always surface, and those who remain quiet in the face of falsehoods will earn respect. 2. In the midst of boasting. There's a certain awkwardness when you're in a conversation with someone who is excessively boasting. They might be inflating their accomplishments or speaking as if they are superior to others. The Stoic in you might feel the urge to challenge them, to bring them back to reality. However, silence is the wiser course. According to Stoicism, ego and pride are illusions. Seneca warned about the dangers of boasting and seeking external validation. He said, "A man is as miserable as he thinks he is." When someone brags, they are often revealing their own insecurities and need for approval. By remaining silent, you distance yourself from this ego-driven exchange. You signal that you don't need to participate in their game of one-upmanship. You stay rooted in your own sense of self-worth, which does not depend on external validation. Silence in the face of boasting allows you to rise above the noise and maintain your inner peace. 3. When dealing with anger. Anger is one of the most destructive emotions, both for the person experiencing it and those around them. The Stoics believed that anger was the result of unrealistic expectations, of wanting the world to be different than it is. Marcus Aurelius said, "How much more harmful are the consequences of anger than the circumstances that aroused them in us?" When you find yourself in a situation that ignites your anger, silence is your greatest ally. Instead of lashing out or saying something in the heat of the moment, take a deep breath and hold your tongue. Anger clouds judgment and distorts reality, often leading us to say things we regret. Silence gives you space to reflect, to regain control over your emotions, and to respond in a way that aligns with your higher self. This is the essence of Stoic discipline: mastering your emotions instead of letting them master you. 4. Amidst unfounded rumors. Rumors are like wildfire. They spread quickly and often without any basis in truth. When you find yourself the subject of such rumors, It's tempting to defend yourself, to set the record straight. But the Stoics remind us that our reputation is not something we can control. Epictetus said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these.'" When facing baseless rumors, staying silent can be a profound act of wisdom. Those who know you, who truly understand your character, will not be swayed by hearsay. And those who indulge in gossip often reveal more about themselves than about their target. By remaining silent, you show that you are above the petty game of rumors. You maintain your dignity and, most importantly, your inner peace. 5. How to handle personal loss. Loss is an inevitable part of life, and it can shake us to our core. Whether it's the death of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or the loss of an opportunity, the emotions that come with loss are often overwhelming. In moments of deep grief, we often feel compelled to express our pain through words, but the Stoics believe that silence could be a more powerful response. Seneca wrote extensively about how to handle loss, emphasizing the importance of accepting what we cannot change. Silence in the face of personal loss is not about suppressing your feelings, but rather giving yourself the space to process those feelings. It's about recognizing that some emotions are too profound for words, and that silence allows you to fully confront and accept the reality of the situation. By sitting with your grief in silence, you allow yourself to heal in a way that words might not permit. 6. Navigating ignorance with grace. We live in a world where ignorance often parades as knowledge. Whether it's on social media or in personal conversations, we frequently encounter people who speak confidently about things they know little about. In these situations, the temptation is to correct them, to set the record straight. But the Stoic response is silence. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It is the mark of an educated mind to entertain a thought without accepting it." When faced with ignorance, it is often more powerful to remain silent than to engage in a futile argument. You cannot change someone's mind if they are not open to hearing the truth. Instead, by staying quiet, you demonstrate that you do not need to prove yourself. Your silence reflects your understanding of a deeper truth, that wisdom does not need to be broadcast, and that sometimes letting someone remain in their ignorance is the kindest thing you can do. 7. When confronted with injustice. Stoicism teaches us that life is not always fair. Injustice is a reality that we will all face at one point or another. When confronted with injustice, especially when it affects us personally, the impulse is to fight back, to demand fairness. But sometimes, the most powerful response is silence. Epictetus reminds us that while we cannot control external events, we can control how we react to them. This doesn't mean that we should accept all forms of injustice without question, but rather that we should pick our battles wisely. Silence in the face of injustice can be a strategic move, allowing you to gather your thoughts, assess the situation, and decide on the best course of action. By not reacting impulsively, you maintain your composure and your clarity of mind, which are essential when dealing with complex situations. 8. When hearing boastful claims. When someone brags, it can be tempting to bring them down a notch, to show them that their self-importance is misplaced. But Stoicism teaches us to let such claims pass us by without engaging. Boasting, after all, often comes from a place of insecurity, and responding to it only feeds the ego. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Silence in the face of boastful claims reflects your understanding that true confidence does not need validation. By not responding, You rise above the need to compete, and you preserve your peace of mind. 9. How to respond to insults. Finally, one of the most difficult situations in which to remain silent is when you are insulted. The ego flares up, demanding that we defend ourselves and fight back. But the Stoics taught that insults only have power if we give them power. Marcus Aurelius said, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." When you are insulted, remaining silent demonstrates that the insult has not affected you. It shows that you are in control of your emotions, and that no external force can disturb your inner peace. In the long run, those who insult others will reveal their own character, while those who remain silent will retain their dignity and strength. Conclusion: silence is often misunderstood as passivity or weakness, but in Stoic philosophy, it is seen as one of the greatest expressions of inner strength. True silence isn't just about withholding words. It's about embodying the wisdom to know when speaking is unnecessary or even harmful. The Stoics believe that by controlling your reaction, especially in moments where emotions flare up, you demonstrate mastery over yourself, which is far more powerful than attempting to control others or external situations. Each of the 9 situations we explored in this video reveals how silence can be a deliberate choice, not a forced one, and how it preserves your inner peace amidst chaos, conflict, or negativity. When unfairly criticized, for instance, silence shows you are not dependent on others' opinions, but grounded in your own sense of truth. When faced with anger or insults, silence becomes a tool for defusing tension, keeping your mind clear and calm. The world will always test your composure, but you have the power to control how you respond. Remember, silence is not about retreating. It's about standing firm in your own wisdom and knowing that real power comes from mastering yourself, not others. So as you navigate life, embrace silence as an essential Stoic practice and discover how it unlocks your true potential for self-discipline and emotional resilience.